I think I'm moving.
Send it to my WhatsApp.
Okay.
Just in case.
All right. Sir, who do I need to introduce from our end, sir?
Our team, from our Vice Chancellor, the management team, you can see us. Me, Registrar, Staff, Special Advisor Finance.
Yeah, that's the Hatu.
The Dean of Student Affairs is here.
The Hatu, what's his other name, sir?
But I can ask him.
I found it.
Okay, in terms of pronunciation, do you think you'll get it?
Diagana?
I'll just try and work around.
Ousmane Diagana?
Ousmane Diagana.
Diagana.
Okay.
Indiame Diop.
Okay.
Yeah, the other chap.
Yes. That one is easy.
So you want to
right?
write it down for me?
I've written it down.
He has
This is
already.
the pronunciation I want him to get right.
I leave you to.
So we're
Ousmane Diop. Ousmane Diagana.
Yes.
Then
Indiame Diop.
Indiame Diop.
Those are like, yeah.
Okay. Check, 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 check. Very, very distinguished guests, invited guests. We are asking everyone to please be settled as we're starting shortly. Thank you.
Maybe about 3 minutes if you can.
All right. Come. The Dean of Student Affairs, her name is Hajia.
I don't even forget her name, I swear.
Your madam name,
I don't forget her
Go
name.
and get it now. I need it urgently.
Isa Sadiq Wadida.
Eh?
Isa Sadiq Wadida.
Isa.
Sadiq Wadida.
Okay. You are the president of SRC.
Ibrahim Sadiq Achida.
Ibrahim
Sadiq Achida.
Achida. Yes. Your number, your phone number. Then what's our PC's full name again? Founder and pro-chancellor. Founder and chancellor. Dr. Dati Baba Ahmed. Do you remember his, I think his do you remember? His FC something?
No, I can't remember. Let me.
Okay, so let me send this thing to you. I'll send it to you now.
Once again, we welcome everyone to this short program we have. We are receiving in audience the World Bank Regional Vice President, Mr. Ousmane Diagana, and his team. And we are receiving also, joining us via transmission, are the founder and chancellor of Baze University, Dr. Dati Baba Ahmed. Please give him a round of applause. We can see him. For Nigeria, Ndiame Diop, also joining us. Please a round of applause for him. The Regional Practice Director, Abibi Adugna, is also here with us. Thank you. Manager, External and Corporate Relations, Western and Central Africa, Naye Anna Batili, also here with us. Thank you. Senior External Affairs Officer, Mansour Nasir. Thank you very much for being here. And the External Affairs Officer who's been very helpful guiding us through the team today, Miriam Louis da Silva. But I'll quickly allow now our Chancellor to give a welcome remark to our team, and so that we'll now move on with the other aspects of the program. Very, very distinguished guests. Meet the founder and Chancellor of Baze University, a distinguished gentleman par excellence, distinguished Senator Dati Baba Ahmed, PhD. Chancellor, sir.
The Director for West and Central Africa and your distinguished team, kindly permit me to rely on existing proper protocols and therefore warmly welcome you to Baze University. We consider ourselves highly privileged, and it's indeed a rare honor to receive high-powered officials as you from the World Bank to our institution. You are indeed most welcome. Ever since the Second World War concluded, the institutions have made about all the difference in the modern world as we see it today. Trade liberalization, financial autonomy, proliferation of capital, the developing world's trajectory into industrialization have been largely driven by the World Bank. Moreover, the Sanity International World Order that the world enjoys today has been religiously implemented by the World Bank. I happen to be one of those proponents right from school days in the 80s that all sovereign nations needed and still need close working relationships with particularly the World Bank. In a modern world, financial discipline, financial order, and national financial direction are key in a global order. So we are an institution that believe institutions like ours and countries like ours and regions like ours must have as an instructive strategy working relationships with the World Bank and sister organizations. Your visit to Baze today is an understatement of your commitment to going beyond national governments and dealing with key institutions. We are therefore very grateful. The infrastructure that you see in Baze also understates the soft part. It understates what happens in our classrooms. I will modestly tell you that as at 2019, we made a record that is yet to be broken. The only institution in Nigeria with evidence attached that as of 2019, 30 out of 31 of our graduates that had first class returned with distinction master's degrees from the UK. The numbers would have gone up by now. We challenge everyone, A, to try and have such a record, and B, to go and verify our data. Baze University is an institution that from the onset had staff and students from every state of a diverse country like Nigeria, with near perfect social and religious harmony. It is the only institution in Nigeria where the proprietor has no hands and has no rights over the youngest or the most junior academic practitioner. And by so doing, we protect our academic integrity. We have deployed so much technology in Baze that even during the lockdown of the COVID-19, we successfully completed our academic activities. We have what we call now maturity, in the sense that we are just about to graduate our first set of medical students in, I think, about 18 months. We have all the faculties that we have in our first and second phases of development. We are not relaxing and still do genuinely aspire to do a flying school in Buhari, in our other plot of land. Yeah. We'll do flying school, flying air traffic control, aviation management, aviation security, hospitality management, and all other things that have to do with aviation. We have so far led what I call we have led a quality revolution in Nigerian higher education sector. Hello?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you, sir.
All of us are on, sir.
Hello?
Yes,
We can hear you, Chancellor, sir. We're with you, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Let's try and reconnect.
Oh,
Can you hear us, sir?
we hear you, we can hear us again.
Can you hear us, Chancellor, sir?
We hear you, we can't hear us. We'll just, does it
It's
have a
reconnecting.
Does it have a link? If it has, so that we move on and
A round of applause for the Chancellor. I hope we are able to reconnect in a bit, as he's mentioned some of the great strides, the giant strides that the university has experienced. Hopefully, we may be able to reconnect. Okay, while that is on, we'll have a brief that would show our visitors a quick tour that can show you what the university looks like. We'll take that quickly now.
Welcome to Baze University of Abuja, Nigeria. We empower students to become leaders in their fields. With a diverse student body from around the world, we foster a rich cultural experience. From science and technology to business and the arts, our programs are designed to push the boundaries of knowledge, ensuring you stay ahead in a competitive world.
From the lectures we see to the practical powers,
We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn. Baze University Hospital, Abuja, is dedicated to advancing healthcare. Education goes beyond the classroom. At Ahmed University, Kano, the education legacy is extended beyond Abuja. Your journey to success starts here.
By now, it is safe to say that we have led an honorable quality revolution in education in Nigeria.
Apply today and take your first step toward an extraordinary future. Baze University of Abuja, Nigeria. Learn to live.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Our distinguished guests. Earlier I mentioned that leading the team fiscally here is the Vice Chancellor, a very distinguished Nigerian, Professor Jamila Shuara. She's seated here. We also have the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics, a distinguished academic in his rights, Professor Osita Obu, also seated here. We have the Special Assistant to the Chancellor on Finance, who has worked very well for the university over the years. Mr. Dalhatu Umar is here with us. The registrar you already met online and now physically, of course, he's here, is Professor Adeniyi Abiodun. We have a lot of our professors dotted in parts of this room. I'll please quickly ask, for time's sake, for our professors to rise for recognition. Our professors, heads of department, please rise for recognition. Please rise. There they are. Thank you very much. Please be seated. The Dean of Student Affairs was here a moment ago. I think she's around. And of course, we have our students led by the President of the Student Representative Council. We call him President Ibrahim Achida. Mr. President, where are you? There he is. Please rise for recognition. There he is. And it will interest you, our visitors, to know that he's our student, like every other president has been. But the culture here in Baze is leadership and, of course, excellence. So we learn to lead. So even as a student, he is already doing his job as a leader. He's surrounded by students from the law faculty and other faculties. All students, please rise for recognition. Some of them are writing examinations as we speak. Postgraduates, undergrad. Okay, I've seen the Dean of Student Affairs now. She's there. Okay, I saw her here. She's there. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you very much. Thank you. My name is Dr. Tokwe Ojeme from Mass Comm Department. I'm the university soloist, and it's a privilege and honor to do this. We'll be running this as quickly as we can. We know we're pressed for time. So permit me to invite for a brief welcome remark our very distinguished Vice Chancellor of Baze University, Abuja, Nigeria. Please help me welcome Professor Jamila Shuara. Madam Vice Chancellor.
Our esteemed guests, led by His Excellency, the Vice President, World Bank for Africa, distinguished Ousmane, Diagana, and all other members of the team, members of management, Senate, all other senior academic staff that are here, and all our dear students. To our guests, this is Baze University, the university of tomorrow that is in today. We are driven by three components: our people, the technology, and our products. Our robust complement of staff who drive all our academic and administrative tasks come from every part of Nigeria. We are an equal opportunity employer. All the processes in this university are driven by technology on a very robust digital platform, starting from student admission and registration, staff and student documentation, classrooms, lecture rooms, auditoria that are wired to smart boards. They use Google tools, our library that has about 30,000 holdings, and the e-library that has active registration with LexisNexis, Law Pavilion, Hen Online, Megapedia, and the Nigeria Weekly Law Report online. Please clap for us, please. Our products, that is our students that will interact with you today, they are unique and they hold their own any day, anytime. A round of applause, please. We have students from every part of Nigeria, and we have students that are international that come from about 10 countries. Some of them are in Africa. This university started from the very humble beginnings about 14 years ago with the vision of a very young man. You saw him trying to connect with you. Senator Deti Baba Ahmed, very young man at that time. In 2011, when we commenced academic activities, we had only 3 faculties: law, management sciences, and computing, with about 17 students and 20 staff, academic and non-academic. But today, with a lot of humility, but pride, we state that we have now 9 faculties. Faculty of Law, Faculty of Management and Social Sciences, Faculty of Computing, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences, Faculty of Environmental Sciences, Basic Clinical Sciences, Allied Health, and we have a College of Medicine. Today we have 102 academic programs that are fully recognized and accredited by the National Universities Commission. Today, we also have full professional accreditation from 9 professional bodies. These include Korean, engineering, architecture, law, medicine, radiography, nursing, medical lab science, estate management, and surveying. As it is today, we have 6,985 students, undergrad and postgraduate. We've graduated so far 3,400 students. Today, 920 staff are on our payroll. And today, we have 150 boots on ground in our own security complement. So, Vice President, sir, this is just a small rundown of our university. On behalf of everybody that is a part of the community of Baze University, I most humbly and respectfully welcome you and your team. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause for Madam Vice Chancellor. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, next to speak is the head of the delegation, a distinguished man. He's the regional vice president for Western and Central Africa. Appointed to this role, he manages the World Bank relations with 22 countries and oversees a portfolio of projects worth more than $57 billion a wide range of analytical work and technical assistance. Under his leadership, we're told, the bank's operation in the region adopts a people-centered approach focused on strengthening human capital and empowering women and youth, creating more and better jobs, promoting private sector development, supporting critical infrastructure and digital development, and strengthening climate resilience, agricultural productivity, food and water security. The list is endless. Permit me to say that our dear guest vice president seemed to have learned from the slogan we say here in Baze: he simply learns to live. Please help me welcome to speak to us now World Bank Regional Vice President, Mr. Ousmane Diagana. A round of applause for him. Mr. Vice President.
Thank you so very much. Vice Chancellor, my sister, professors, administrators, managers, dear students, dear colleagues of the World Bank, let me start by big thank you to my sister Jamila, the Vice Chancellor of Baze University, for the very warm welcome. When my colleagues actually included in my schedule the visiting this university, I immediately congratulating them for having considered this as a program in order to engage with students and to come to visit a university, because usually when we travel, we tend to have conversation only with the authorities and sometimes to go visit the project. We don't have enough time to do what is supposed to be the most important thing in program like what the World Bank leadership is supposed to do in visiting countries, meaning visit students, connect the people, and see actually the learning environment, because everything that concerns development starts with learning. Whatever could happen in a development field actually, come from education and skills development. Please also, Vice Chancellor, convey my congratulations to the Chancellor for his bold vision, for having invested on education and for creating an environment that will allow youth, women and men, for future leaders actually to pursue their dream and definitely contribute to building a strong nation, a nation that will be built on a foundation of cohesion and social inclusion, all elements that cannot happen without education. So, big congratulations to the Chancellor Baba Ahmed. I'm very proud to see a university built by Africans, led by Africans, and operating in African environment. You need to broadcast what you guys are doing in this university. I know many of us at some point in our education journey to be part of the international scene, etc., had gone or want to go at some point in universities in Western countries, etc., etc. But this could be addressed and should be addressed in giving equal opportunity to everybody. And this should be addressed only if we invest in education in our countries. And there is hope to make this a reality, a constant reality. The leadership that make this region that I have the honor to lead Western Central Africa is composed essentially of Africans. And colleagues who are here, myself, Njame Job, who are a country director, or Abebe Adunya, who was our director for prosperity, we all start our university in our respective country or in the continent. Right? And in particular in Nigeria, I know, having been part of the World Bank for many years now, that Nigeria education, starting with the public institution, and now more and more, the role that the private institutions are playing in delivering education system has been always very attentive to giving opportunity to use through good education system. And as a World Bank, we have benefited from it. The highest leadership of the institution has always included Nigeria. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has been my boss several times in the bank, has been number 2 in the World Bank. Obiageli Ozokuli, who hired me as my first time as a country director, was the vice president here, and she comes from Nigeria. As we speak, Honorable Minister Zainab Ahmed is a part of the board of the World Bank, and she was sitting here as the Minister of Finance of Nigeria. And those are just a few names among the leadership of the institution. All right? There are so many other Nigerians across the world working for the World Bank Group who are contributing to development in the world and therefore making our world better. So I would like to seize this opportunity really to thank Nigerian leadership and Nigerian as a whole for their contribution to our institution. Of course, it's not a surprise because one of the most important shareholders of the World Bank, at least from the African country, is Nigeria. Regarding our partnership with Nigeria and referring to what the World Bank mission and role is, I think I cannot say more than what the Chancellor Baba Ahmed has mentioned. He has given very succinctly but very, very clearly the genesis of the World Bank, why the World Bank has been established, what the World Bank is doing, and how the World Bank is evolving to continue to be relevant in a global context that is shifting and whose consequences for development is also being cautioned. It's through an institution like the World Bank, that certainly is a bank because it provides financial assistance to countries to support development program, but it's more than a bank. It is an institution that generates knowledge, that share knowledge, that try to connect people across the globe. It is an institution that provides advice and technical assistance to country, learning from its 8 decades of existence and partnership and collaboration with other countries, so that through the dialogue that we have with the country, we can share with Nigeria what China has made actually to evolve from our country that was hosting the most important number of poor in the world to be today the most important player in the global stage. What countries in the East Asia, for instance, have been doing to grow at a pace that have allowed them to create a massive number of jobs. So those are type of discussion that we are also having with Nigeria and that we had with Nigeria for many, many years. As we speak, Nigeria in Africa has by far the largest financial assistance from the World Bank. $17 billion. And those are not a number. Those are actually programs that support access to electricity, building road, school, health, energy, environment protection, etc., etc. Yesterday, I spent the day in Kaduna. I spent 3 hours engaging with adolescent girls that are benefiting education from a project that we call here Agile. Adolescent girls for improved learning and empowerment. I was impressed actually to see what those girls who have not been able to go to school or to pursue their dream in going after the basic education to the secondary education because the facilities were missing or the school environment were not conducive, actually how much today they have been empowered, how much they are learning. So those are the type of program that we are supporting in Nigeria. I visited a health facility that is here actually to make sure that every child, will have full immunization, and also that the malaria will be totally under control and eventually will be eradicated. So, and at the same time, there's recent years, we know that has been very difficult for Nigeria, especially in terms of the impact of some of those very bold reforms that the current regime has put in place. But reforms that are necessary in our view, again, based on what we have learned from the international experience. And the preliminary result from those reforms is that the growth of Nigeria, economic growth, has started to increase. Today, Nigeria is increasing, growth is increasing to 3.4% the first time in the last 10 years. The fiscal deficit is declining. But at the same time, you are aware of the impact of those reforms on poor and the most vulnerable people through inflation. And that's why when we do prepare this type of package of reform, you also put in place program that can help actually relieve or mitigate their impact on poor through social protection, etc., etc. One thing that we have been making mention to the government, because we have a program of $800 million, especially dedicated to providing support to the people through social registration program in order to allow the most vulnerable people to have some access to some critical services, food, etc., support that will come from. What we have said to the government, for example, during this mission, that we need to accelerate the implementation of this type of programs so that people will feel in their day-to-day life the impact, how this reform is important, not only from economic growth point of view, but from how they can live decent life. What also we told them that is, a country like Nigeria, achieving a growth of 3.4% per year is commendable, but is absolutely insufficient. Nigeria has resources, human resources, natural resources. Nigeria has the most vibrant private sector in the world. Nigeria has the most qualified people in the world. And therefore, Nigeria can absolutely grow minimum at 7% per year and make sure that this growth also translates into employment, into job creation. So those are the type of discussion that we had during this mission. And obviously, none of the things will happen without a relevant education system, without investing on skills, without actually, balancing the type of education system provide between, having people going to law schools, economics, etc., but also having people who go in engineering, science, technology, agriculture, etc., etc., etc. So it's the combination of all those areas of education that will, allow any country to harness the development potential and continue to develop and prosper. A very, very last point, as the Vice President for Western and Central Africa, I know that development will not happen in Africa, that a shared prosperity will not happen in Africa if we don't have a strong Nigeria. If we don't have a Nigeria that grows continuously and that to have this actually being translated to positive externality that can be taken down everywhere in Africa. So thank you so very much for the opportunity. I'm very, very honored and humbled to have this opportunity to be here, and would like to see and to explore the opportunity to continue to partner with your university. So thanks you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. By your kind permission, we may have a few questions. Would you mind for us to take? Okay, please, you may take your seat. So I'll just give you a microphone by your seat to attend to questions as they come. Sir. Please do give the Vice President another round of applause. I didn't mention to you that the Vice President, the World Bank Vice President you just listened to, Mr. Diagana, speaks a lot of languages. He's actually from Mauritania, but if you ask me, he looks more like a Nigerian. He speaks French, he speaks English, he speaks Arabic, he speaks Shoninke, and you won't believe this, he speaks Fulani language. 100%. And he speaks Wolof. Am I correct, sir? Absolutely. So you may want to engage him if you know how to speak Fulani language. But we have the opportunity for questions, and because of time, we would like to take this very quickly. Remember, it's an academic community and we want to try and keep to time. So let's start with a staff. Question from any staff? Yes, staff? Yes, that's Mr. Yusuf Bello. Mr. Solomon, okay. Okay, let me take Mr. Yusuf Bello. Yeah, Mr. Bako, yes, please come.
Thank you, sir. Monsieur Diagana, you're most welcome, sir. Thank you very much to the senior colleagues of the university. Thank you for this opportunity to host such a high-profile individual. Sir, my submission here to you today is to inquire that given the way the world is changing, and we see that happening, that the world order is shifting, and both you and the Chancellor unequivocally and rightfully state that education is a vital part of development. And your largest shareholder is treating academic institutions with such hostility in its own country. How will the World Bank be proofing itself from the lack of quality input from highly valued institutions like Harvard and all these other places? And how can we in Africa, especially us, Baze, fill in that gap to provide you with the necessary reforms and the programs that will allow us Africans to own our own development and advancement? Just a round off, I'm from the International Relations Department, so thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. So he's a staff of the International Relations Department. Thank you very much, Mr. Yusuf. Would you like to take the question, or you want me to take all of them? So you can, yeah, so we'll take all of them. Postgraduate students, so, okay, let's take, there are so many hands. Hafsat Ahmed, where's Hafsat Ahmed? Come forward. Let me see the hands again so we can just select. Okay, Gospel, come forward. Gospel, Chris Okoye, come forward. Other hands. Okay, Ugu Melvin, come forward. Ugu Melvin. Maybe we can take, let's take this first and see how it goes. Yes, please go straight to the question.
Okay. Thank you so much for the privilege. You talked about financing in Nigeria and how Nigeria benefits a lot from financing. I would like to ask about some of the challenges you face in financing in Nigeria in relating to development and some of the solutions.
Good morning, sir. Okay, I'm Chris Gospel Okoye, a postgraduate student. Sir, you made mention of the huge amount that has been invested in Nigeria But how has this been monitored to ensure that this money invested in our country, we as citizens benefit from it? I mean, everyone sitting down here can say that, oh, the World Bank invested this amount of money into my country and I'm seeing it. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Melvin Uguru.
You can go back.
Okay, so you mentioned, you spoke about the need to accelerate implementation of the programs for Africa and for Nigeria. I also mentioned the need for Nigeria to take the lead in terms of development because of the positive externalities that could, impact the other regions. So my question to you is, what effort in terms of regional development is the World Bank making in terms of, getting the internet, maybe trade between the regions in Africa to boost trade?
Thank you. So looking at my time, we can take just one more from IRD. Anybody from international relations who just give one more slot? Okay, yeah, Eme Ekwa, step forward. Eme Ekwa, step forward. Eme Ekwa, quickly. Yeah, quickly.
Good morning, sir. My name is Claire Mom. I'm a postgraduate student from International Relations and Diplomacy. And my question is, what lessons has the World Bank learned from past development programs in Nigeria and neighboring countries, and how is this shaping your current engagements and future engagements? Thank you.
So just one more slot, and that will go to law. Anyone from law? Yes, come forward. Quickly. I would suggest that those of us who still have questions, just write it down. You may want to put your email on it, and then I'll pass the questions. Possibly you could get your answers sent via email, if that's okay, Mr. Vice President. So write your questions, your email, and I'm sure that you will get response quickly. Your name and straight.
Good day, everyone. My name is Shamira Adejo, and I'm a 200 level student from Law Faculty. So I have a question. So my question is, while the Vice President was talking, he mentioned that Nigeria has the largest financial assistance, and I'm wondering, because everyone was clapping, is that a good thing? The second question I have, my second question is, how does your policy, what would you recommend as policy reforms for education system in Baze?
Thank you very much. So I'm sure that our team from World Bank would understand that this is why we say in Baze you learn to lead. The questions are straight to the point. Mr. Vice President, you may now proceed, sir. Would you want to come up or you want to answer from there? Please go ahead, sir. Please give him another round of applause.
I will start and try to respond to some of the questions and also to frame in a way that will allow my two colleagues here, Njame Job, who is a country director based here in Abuja and working on day-to-day basis with the authorities and the different stakeholders in Nigeria around our programs, and also Abebe, who is a director for macro trade, governance, etc., etc. Education is absolutely the priority of the World Bank, and indeed my own priority. I start my career at teachers in university in my own country, and also my technical family in the World Bank. The World Bank, we hire experts, we don't hire managers. It's through your journey in the bank that you grow professionally and you become vice president or director, etc., is education area. The first thing that we did, in fact, when I became vice president for this region, is to put together a team of academicians, professors, but also administrators of school to think of education strategy for Africa as a whole, West and Central Africa. And many Nigerians from Nigeria and also from the diaspora, knowing that many Nigerians who are professors in the US in particular, were part of the thinking that we indeed share with a community of education practitioners in a conference that we organized in Accra in 2021. And this is a program that is a strategy that is leading our intervention in the education area. And since then, we have multiplied by 2 our financing assistance to education, from basic education to tertiary education through secondary and TVT. Also, this current visit that I'm undertaking in West Africa, I started with Ghana, where we organize and celebrate the 10-year anniversary of a bold initiative that the World Bank has supported during the last 10 years that we call African Center for Excellence. The main purpose of that program is to support higher education institutions in Africa through giving opportunity to students to prepare their PhDs, their masters on the continent, and therefore to stay in the continent and to continue to contribute. The data clearly show that despite actually the massive investment that African government put in education through scholarship, etc., for people to go abroad in London, in Paris, in New York, in Boston, etc., very few of those people will come back to the continent. And therefore, brain drain that we are actually observing in the continent is all part of the impediment to the development, etc. So I think education provided in the continent through African, but of course to make sure also that given the global public nature of the education system, making sure that higher education institutions continue to connect with the best education institution in the world, actually will continue to improve the quality of the education, make sure that these outcomes from education system become more relevant to what is needed, and therefore create the opportunity for people to have access to job or to create themselves jobs. So I'm not going to comment on the decision that is made by politicians, but I think we need simply to focus on what the continent and the leaders on the continent should be doing, necessarily prioritizing education in order to generate more impact for people and for the economy. The other questions that have been asked are extremely relevant. I just want to mention that, you know, the way we work as a World Bank, financial assistance is something that we provide as a result of the diagnosis that has been made, not only regarding the economic management, but the financial resources that the country can generate itself to support its development goal. So, and our support is essentially to contribute to fill a gap, but at the same time to come with ideas that can be tested on the development field and see how actually those possible programs implemented at a relatively small scale can be scaled up in order to have a much bigger impact through a combination of financing from the public sector, from the private sector, and from the other development partner. So the financial assistance is good or not. What is obvious, that is, there is no country in the world that can have all the means actually to support its development agenda. A country like US, China, Vietnam, Brazil, Argentina, you know, despite their level of development, continue also to benefit from the financial assistance of the World Bank. What is really important is to better understand the term of the financial assistance, the financial term of the financial assistance that we provide to Nigeria. It's essentially what we call credit, meaning financial assistance that will be paid on 40 years with 10 years of grace and with 0% of interest. So it's kind of a grant. Of course, given the level of Nigeria economic development, this is also complemented by Nigeria possibility to have access to a loan that are repayable in a shorter term, but yet is much more beneficial for Nigeria compared to when they go to the financial market and to try to have bonds. But more important is how those financial assistance resources are utilized. And that's why we have an arrangement here in Nigeria, but also in all the African countries, to have a presence on the ground with our team who on day-to-day basis, supervise the program, make sure that the program resources are being used as intended. And we not shy away to close a project or suspend the intervention of the project if we believe that the fiduciary requirement for a good use of the project resources are not met, or if the project is not implementing in a way that will allow actually this operation to achieve its intended purpose. So I will pause here. Maybe I will give the opportunity to Njame to share with more some granular information on how we engage and what we are doing here, and also to respond to some of the questions that are specific to Nigeria.
Thank you, Ousmane. Okay.
Please give him another round of applause. The country director, that's our World Bank boss in Nigeria, Diagana.
Thank you very much, first of all, for inviting us. It's really always exciting to visit universities and interact with students. I share this passion with Ousmane. I know wherever he visits, he wants to connect with universities, and I think it's a great thing, and thank you very much for your warm welcoming today. So I think the question that was asked was about challenge around financing and what we do in Nigeria. I would like to first emphasize that we like to see ourselves at the World Bank first as a knowledge bank. We are a global institution. We hire people that have the experience and the academic background and the expertise to join us and to really be deployed around the world to help countries. And when you ask governments around the world, the first thing they value about the World Bank is our knowledge. It's not the case for every country, but for someone like me who spent a very long time in East Asia, I can tell you that the East Asians, they value the World Bank knowledge more than anything. And to give you just one example, a country like Malaysia is financing everything we do. They have asked us to come to open an office in Malaysia, and they pay for it. They paid for the office. They pay for all the expert. We are Malaysian expert and international expert that we deploy there to deliver for the government. And we agreed on a knowledge platform program over 5 years to help them catch up with the most advanced country in the world. So it is really important, I think, to emphasize that, and we do that with academia. So when we say the World Bank, it's not just our in-house expert. Much of what we do is actually done alongside, in partnership with consultants and people that work in academia. So I just wanted to emphasize that because that's something we do in Nigeria, and every investment we do in Nigeria in terms of financing is underpinned by knowledge, data, evidence, and knowledge. And that sort of helps us to make sure that what we are financing is fit for purpose and will address real challenges on the ground and will address it in the best way possible. So that's one, the key point I really wanted to make. Now, on financing, I think the starting point is that Nigeria, like every country in the world, unfortunately doesn't collect enough revenues to really spend, to address their financing needs domestically at 100%. because of the development challenges in Nigeria, and Nigeria has really many development challenges. When I joined Nigeria, I was very shocked by the numbers, especially in human capital, because Nigeria boasts some of the best talents that I've seen overseas, but at the same time, there's a contrast when you look at the education indicators, you look at the health indicators, you look at other human capital related indicators, infant mortality, maternal mortality, learning poverty, and so on, and the number of out of school children. This is not right for Nigeria, because this country has the resources, the talent, the capacity to fix that. So we are squarely focused on trying to help in this field. So because Nigeria, collect less than they should spend, they have a financing need, and that financing need has to be financed. It has to be financed one way or another. Either you collect more revenue, people may pay more tax, and then you don't need any borrowing, or you don't collect tax and you need to borrow somehow to be able to satisfy the need of the population. Now, if you look at the borrowing options out there, as Ousmane mentioned, now if the government issues bonds to finance its need, today the interest rate on the bond of government, of sovereign bonds from government is 22%. You pay an interest of 22% on that bond. If you issue a Eurobond, you pay around 9 to 10% of that. Now, if the World Bank supports you with either with our resources, it's 0%, and you pay over 30 to 40 years, and you have a grace period of 9 years without paying the principal, simply because we're an institution dedicated to development, and investment in education takes a long time to bring its return. So this is why the World Bank is really very engaged with Nigeria to help address those financing needs in critical areas, etc. Now, the challenge we really face is one, implementation, two, is sustainability. We face many challenges as we deliver our project on the ground, and the World Bank team that is in Abuja and globally spends a lot of time supervising our project. And we actually supervise well our project. We make sure that problems are addressed. We make sure that the fiduciary risks are anticipated and managed, and we do have impact on the ground. Now, all of that we are doing will not be sufficient until the bigger budget, which is the government budget, is well spent to address the needs of the population. So we are also helping the government on strengthening their systems to make sure that the delivery capacity and the delivery impact is strong. Now, the second challenge that we face here is sustainability, because development is a long-term affair. If every time a new government comes in, and then some of the projects, like a road that was being built, is stopped and you start anew, it will really take time for long-term development to be achieved. So I think these are some of the challenges that we face. Let me finish by saying that one lesson I learned working and living in Nigeria is that we cannot paint Nigeria with one brush. There's a lot of heterogeneity and differences across states. Even the indicators of education I mentioned, in some states, the indicators are as good as the upper middle income countries around the world, but in other states, the indicators are worse than the lowest income country in Africa. So this disparity across geographical areas is really a very big challenge. So therefore, whatever we say, we have to really keep that in mind and also make sure that we customize solutions to the particular geography we are facing. Thank you. Let me stop here.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm told we have just about 3 minutes more, so let me invite the Regional Practice Director, Dr. Baze Adugna. Please, sir. We have a very, very short time. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. It's really an honor and a privilege. Given the time constraints, I would just go directly into maybe adding 2 points. The first, I think I love the question about whether largest World Bank financing, is that a good thing or a bad thing for Nigeria? I think, I would answer it by saying that I think when you look at the level of income, per capita income in Nigeria, for example, is around $1,600 US, the latest one. And you look at the level of poverty and some of the human development indicators that Ndiame was mentioning, clearly a lot of effort is needed to reduce poverty. And the World Bank's mission is eradication of poverty. So in that sense, we're relevant. And given where Nigeria is here now, there's a need for financing in a big way to try to create the momentum for growth and bring that poverty level down. And that requires investment in infrastructure, health, education, and all of the other things that we support. But let's be clear, our goal is to see a prosperous Nigeria where over time, the poverty rate is reduced to such a level that the World Bank is no longer needed in Nigeria, and indeed in Africa. So I just wanted to add that. The second thing is, someone asked about the regional development, the global uncertainty. Much is going on in the world that would have huge implications on our region, including on Nigeria. Some of the trade-related, tariff-related uncertainties. We think that official development assistance may also decline because of what's happening in Europe. I really think in the midst of this almost uncertain, very uncertain crisis type global situation, the issue is what can Africans do for themselves? I think when you see the kind of education you see here, which is world-class and competitive to probably any other university, this is the type of stuff that we need to do as Africans. I think what I would say is also, there was a mention of global trade and regional trade. This is, multilateral trade, we all know, is under enormous pressure right now. But the Africa Continental Free Trade Area has been under implementation from 2021. This is an opportunity, I think, to strengthen intra-African regional trade, of which Nigeria can play a very, very significant role. That's the second. The third point I want to make is a little bit on, building on what the challenges are. I think Ndiame touched upon it, but I think Nigeria is a huge country. $17 billion is large from our resource perspective, the World Bank's resource perspective. But when you look at the country with 76 states, this financing is, I have to say, modest. And the question is, how do we scale the modest investment that we have so that it will have a nationwide impact and transformational impact? That's a little bit the challenge that we face in all our projects, how to scale up the support that, in particular, works at the local level. Let me stop there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you. And with this, we will, thank you, sir. We'll be concluding. Let me quickly invite the President of the Student Representative Council, President Ibrahim Achida. You have 30 seconds to say thank you. Your time is already counting. "30 seconds. Quickly, just say thank you."
Thank you very much. On behalf of the students, representative of the students, we really appreciate you turning up today, and it's a very great event. On behalf of the university, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the students, staff, the professors, the HOD for being here today. Thank you very much. May God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you. And now we invite our own Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Professor Osita Ogbu. If you're waiting for me to tell him how long he has, I can't do that. I don't have the authority.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have had a lot from the World Bank team. We have learned a lot, and I'm sure we are quite comfortable with what they have done, and we look forward to more collaboration with them. On behalf of the Chancellor of the University, Senator Dati Baba Ahmed, members of the Board of Trustees, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Jamila Shuara, management team, our hardworking staff, and students. So I wish to say very thank you to Mr. Ousmane, Diagana. Thank you for finding us worthy to visit us. Thank you very much, and your team. We are better for it, and we are sure that together we can partner in different areas. Yes, we can partner in knowledge production, we can partner in data, directly or indirectly, as we go forward. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. We rise now for the closing with the Baze University anthem. We close, and afterwards we'll have a quick photograph here, and we're done. The anthem. Baze University, right in the city of unity. Raise your banner with pride and dignity over the hills, the land and sea. Driven by excellence, hard work and diligence, and our riches high above the sky. Shine on, Baze University, ever shining as the morning sun, marching on to glory. Learn to lead and learn to lead. Shine on, shine on, Baze University. Thank you very much. Please come forward, our guests. Madam Vice Chancellor, members of management, please come forward for a quick photograph with our guests. Members of management are invited, our deans and our heads of departments to please join quickly. Our professors, please join quickly. Director IT, please join. Directors, please join quickly. All staff stand by to join. All staff can join now. All staff, please join quickly. Students stand by. All staff, please join quickly. Students stand by to join. All students now, if you can squat, if you just find a way. All students, please come quickly. All students, please come quickly and join for photograph. All students, quickly, you can squat, you can just find a way to get into the photograph. There's space at the back here. Tall guys like the economics man can come to the back. So we'll do that very, very quickly. Quickly, we'll do that. So quickly, we'll take the photograph. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So thank you, that will be all. Please, let's make way for our guests as they have another scheduled visit. They will need to move immediately. Thank you very much.